Alright, so in the previous video, we prepared our listing model and we created 20 instances and 2 users. And now we want to show them on the home page. Let's open our listing controller, and right here, we are rendering the home page. We want to create a listings variable, and for the start, I will just set this to listing all. So very simple. We are just grabbing all the listings and we want to send them to the home component as a prop. So we can pass a second argument, which would be an array, and say we will have listings, and the value of that would be the listings variable up here. Now we can open our home page and accept that prop. So we can say define props and say we are expecting listings of type object. So let me delete everything on the home page, and I will just include the curly brackets to say console.log listings. So very simple. Let's see what we get in the console. Back to our website, if we open console and reload, we get our array, and within that we have our listings. So each object is a listing. Now to show all of this and list them on the home page is actually quite easy. The complicated part comes in when we want to filter them, and we will do this step by step. So of course, we don't want to just return all the listings like this. We want to have some criteria, but let's just start by the simple ones. For example, we want to grab the latest first and also paginate them. So again, we've done this in previous videos, and latest function will sort the array by date in a descending order, and the paginate function would allows us to have paginations. So we can pass a number here, let's say 6, and now if we go back to our website and reload, this time we don't have an array, we have an object. Within that object, we have a data property, which is our listings. So we want to go to listings.data to grab the listings, but we also have the properties of our paginator. So we have the current page, the links, and all the other properties. So let's just start by creating some markup to show these listings. So I'm going to delete this console.log and start by creating a head tag so we can have some title. We will just set this to latest listings. Then I will have a div, and first I want to check if there are any listings. So in the VF directive, we can use the object.keys method, and we want to pass our listings data. Remember, the data array is the one with all the listings. And then we say the length. So if this returns true, that means we have some listings. Then I will have a div. Let's apply some classes. I will say grid and grid columns tree, and also some gap. Now again, inside this div, we will have another div with a v4 directive. So we can create a listing variable in listings.data. And then we will provide our key attribute or prop, and we will bind that to listing ID. And for now, let's just output listing title. All right, so back to our website, we can see 6 titles because that is the number of paginations. Now for each listing, I want to have a card or a component. So instead of coding everything here, we will create a separate component. Inside our component folder, I will have a new document. I will call it card.view, and then we will have our script tag here and our template. So for the start, I'm going to paste this div, which has background white, some rounded corners and shadow, and some other classes. Then within that, we will have a div, and right here, we want to have the image, which we don't have at the moment. But for now, let's add empty div, and I will set the width to full and height to maybe 48, and some background so we know there's something there. Now under the image, we will have the title and the user. And again, we will handle how to grab the user. Let's have a div with some padding, maybe 4. Then I will have an h3 with some classes. So let's say font bold, text XL, and margin bottom 2. And as the content, we want to use our listing.title. That means we need a prop called listing. So let's do this first. So in this script tag, we can say define props and simply just say we are expecting a listing of type object. Then after that h3, within this same container, I will have a p tag and say listed on. So this will be the date, and we can use the listing created at property, but that is not a very nice format. So I can say new date and then pass in listing.created at like this, and then use the data string method to format this a bit better. So this is the date, and then we want to continue and say by the user. At this point, we don't have a user, so we will just use capital letters to make it obvious and say user. So let's import this in our home component and see what we have. So in our home view or component, I can import our card from the components folder. And in this for loop, I can use that card. I can just bring it in, and this is expecting a listing, which I can bind it to the listing we have up here. So let's go to our website, and this is what we have. This is where we would have the image and the title, and of course the date and the user. And I also want to add the tags down here, so that would make it easier for the users to filter these listings by tag. Now let's fix a few things before we move on. First of all, this title is too long to show on the first page, and I don't want to include all the title on this first card. So when the user clicks on these cards, they can go to the detailed page and read the full title. So we can shorten this by some JavaScript method and make it maybe just 15 or 20 letters or characters. So this is quite easy. If we go back to our card component and we have the title right here, we can just chain the substring method, which is a JavaScript method, and it takes the start index and the end index. So if we say 0, that means start from the 0 character or 0 index and go on for how many letters we want, for example, 40. And go back to our website, you notice now the titles are shorter and they only include 40 characters. And to make this look better, we can simply add 3 dots outside of this curly brackets. And now it is easier to understand that this is not the end of this title, and there is more to it, of course. So that is the first thing, which was very easy. Next, we want to bring in the user. So on the home component, I'm just going to log the listings into the console once again. If we open one of these listings, you notice it is just that listing and it doesn't include the user. So in order to include the user within this listings object, we can go back to our listings controller, and before returning the listings, we can say return them with the user. So using the with method, we can pass the related method that we want to use, and that is user. And then we chain latest and paginate. Now going back to the website, if we reload and open again one of these listings, now you notice we have a user, which is the user who created this listing. So we can use this to show the name or the email or whatever we want to use. So let's go back to our website. Now we have access to the user. We can go to the card component, and instead of this text here that says user, we can include another curly brackets and say listing.user.name. So this user object is within the listing object, and then we want the name property. And back to our website, you can see the name of these users, which were generated by our database seeder. Now, this username should actually be a button. So again, that would allow the user to filter the listings by the user. And all of these functions will be added later, but for now we are just adding the buttons and the markup. So I'm going to cut this part and add a button and then paste that username. And on the button, I'm just going to add some classes similar to our text link. And here we have it. But I find myself using these classes quite often. So I'm going to take a detour here and just create a custom class very quickly. Let's open our app.css and then select our layer component. And within that, we want to create our custom class. I will call it text link, and then apply all those classes just like this. And we can close this one. And instead of all of these classes, we can just say text link. So we still have the same thing, but it is now simpler. Next, I want to add the tags of each listing underneath the name. Let's go back to our card component. After this div, I'm going to create another div. So this is before the last closing div tag. Then I will make a comment. That would be our tags. And first, I want to check if there are any tags, because we said tags could be null. And if we want to render something that is null, then we will get an error. So first we want to say if listing tags was true, then do something. And for now, I will just show them as a string. So let's go back to our website. We can see the tags of each listing. Now again, notice these are a string that are comma separated. So with some JavaScript functions again, we can turn that into individual elements. First, let's add some classes on the div wrapper. So I would add flex, items center, some gap, and some padding. Then on the second div or the inner div, I want to use the v4 directive. And we will create a tag variable and we say in listing.tags. What I like to do is to use this split function, which is a JavaScript function, and it will take a separator. In this case, our separator is a comma, and this will return an array. So therefore, we are looping over an array, and we are saying for each tag inside the tags array, which will be individual items, then render something. Now let's bind the key attribute or prop to the tag itself because we don't have anything else. And as the content of this div, I will have a button with these classes. So I'm adding some background with text white, some padding left and right, and just a pixel for top and bottom, rounded corners, and when we hover over it is going to be a darker color, and when it is dark mode is going to be even darker. As the text of these buttons, we will just use the tag. All right, so this is our tags section. So going back to our website, here we have it. And later on, we will add the filters. So when we click on these, we will only show the listings with that particular tag. So our cards are almost ready. The last thing I want to add for this video is to add a default image because our listings don't have any image at the moment, and we just want to have a default image in case the listing doesn't have an image. Back to our project, I'm going to close everything except the card. And we want to store our images inside the storage folder, app, and public, and probably create some folders here. I'm going to create a new folder inside the public folder under app storage, and I will call this images. Now in that folder, I will have another folder and I will call it listing. So we have images, listing, and in this folder, we want to have our default image. So I'm going to paste just the default image here, this one, which is called the default.jpg, and I want to use this as the default image for every listing. The problem here is this is under the storage and it is not a public asset. So we want to link our public folder inside the storage folder to this public folder, which is our public assets or everything that is going to be publicly accessible by anyone. So again, we've done this before. We can run PHP artisan storage link in our terminal, and this will create a symbolic link in our public folder, storage, images, and listing, which includes the same image. Now back to our card component. Up here, we have this placeholder for the image. We want to show the default image now. First, I'm going to change this tag, which is a div tag, to a link tag or a component. And this would require an href, which we would leave it empty for now. But the idea is when you click on the image, it would go to the detail page of that listing. Now inside of this link, we will have an image tag. Now before the source, let's add some classes here. So I will cut all these classes from up here and paste it for the image. We don't actually need it for the link. Let's just remove that. And I will just change the background to something gray as a placeholder. I will also add object cover. So this will make sure that the image is not out of proportion, and also object center. Now for the source, we want to make this dynamic. Let's add a colon before the source attribute and check if our listing has an image. So remember, we have an image property, and if that's correct, we want to use that one. So we will add question mark here, and let me put this on a different line, and use that listing image. So I will use backticks and then / storage, and then / the path to this listing image. So this may seem a bit confusing because at this point we are not creating listings and not saving images, but when we get to that, you will see what would be this image property. It would actually be the path to our image, which would start with images, listing, and the name of the image. And that's why all we have to do here is to include the storage. But anyway, if that's true, we will show it. But if that's false, using a colon, we will show the default image. So we can say storage, images, and listing, and default.jpg. So again, that image is coming from here. So storage, images, listing, default.jpg. So let's save this one and go back to our website. We have the default image. If the listing actually has an image, then we will see that. All right, so this is our listing card, and now we want to start working on the filters. So let's do that next.